The Honourable Member for Charlesbourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, today we found out about the Auditor General's disastrous report on ArriveCAN. This confirms that there was a scandalous lack of oversight and transparency. In his mandate letter, the former president of the Treasury Board was supposed to, and I quote, raise the bar for government openness, efficiency, and transparency. The member for Quebec was responsible for auditing spending on these contracts totaling millions of dollars. Will the former president of the Treasury Board apologize to Canadians for having failed in his duties? The Honourable Minister of Public Services and Procurement, Canada. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and thank you to my colleague for reminding us of the importance of responsible government. A responsible government protects the health and safety of its people, especially in a crisis like COVID-19, which is the worst crisis in a century and the worst economic crisis since the 1930s. We had to act swiftly to save hundreds, thousands even of lives. But despite that, we find that the Auditor General's conclusions and findings are unacceptable, and next time we will have to do better. The Honourable Member for Charlesbourg-Haute-Saint-Charles. Mr. Speaker, I would like to remind the Minister that he was President of the Treasury Board of Canada. It was his responsibility to ensure that public funding was properly managed. Now, during that period, during the pandemic, 23 companies received hundreds of millions of dollars in contracts. Businesses which were not named, they were listed as companies A, B, C, D, and so on the government website. I raised this issue in committee in 2021. Today, we've received confirmation that there was, I quote, blatantly disregarded basic management practices. Can the former president of the Treasury Board admit that he failed in his duty to protect Canadian taxpayers' money? The Honourable Minister of Public Services and Procurement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. One of the duties of the Canadian government at the time was to ensure that the border with the United States would remain open for hundreds of thousands of Canadians transiting the border every day, and billions of dollars in equipment, food, medications, that would continue transiting through as well. That was why we created ArriveCAN, so that the United States, led by President Trump, would not fully close the border, because we needed all those things and people going through the border, and that was important in my riding and in the riding of my Conservative colleagues.